Throughout Asia, travelers can expect unique experiences culturally, visually, and gastronomically. Let me provide you with a quick glimpse of Avanti Asia.
Asia is a treasure trove of visual, cultural, and unique experiences for the independent traveller. Independent, yes. Alone, no. All Avanti Asia recommended vacations are accompanied by private guides who will be with you at every step of the way, bringing to life the sounds, sights, and flavours of Asia. From your arrival at Shanghai or Beijing on United, Delta, American, or Cathay Pacific from major US gateways, you will be met at the airport by your guide and transferred to one of the modern 4- or 5-star properties. These are beautifully appointed hotels that back home or in any other major world cities would be many times more expensive. Value for money goes a long way throughout Asia. Many trips begin in Beijing, home to the Forbidden City. This was the Chinese imperial palace from 1420 to 1914, and it is also close to Tiananmen Square. Both are central to a stay in this capital city, and in less than 2 hours you can be standing on the Great Wall, one of the 7 wonders of the world. Shanghai presents the dichotomy of China, historic with its pagodas, temples, street markets, and the gleaming new commercial China with its financial center and unique modern architecture. Stroll the Bund along the Hangpu River on the historic side of Shanghai and gaze towards modern China just on the other side, an amazing contrast. Travel from either gateway to China's other exciting cities, Xi'an, home of the famous terracotta warriors, which were unearthed in 1974 after centuries of being hidden from view. Also visit Chengdu, the home of China's unique endangered species, the giant panda. Include a cruise on the Yangtze River with 4, 5, 7 or 9-day journeys available on Victoria Cruises, one of China's premier river cruise lines. All meals, excursions and entertainment are provided on board. Head south and visit the spectacular and unique scenery of Guilin, situated on the west bank of the Li River. Another spectacular possibility is a visit to Tibet, ancient home of Tibetan monks who built the city along with the monasteries, palaces and temples of Lhasa. More adventurous travellers can visit the Mount Everest base camp. Extend your vacation with a stopover in Hong Kong, the commercial capital of Asia, with unforgettable sights, shopping and culinary experiences. The daily evening laser light show is amazing, and this bustling port is truly dynamic in every sense of the word. A day trip from Hong Kong to Macau brings into view gleaming casinos coupled with the old world charm of Portuguese architecture dating back to the colonial rule of the 16th century. Crossing the China Sea brings another centuries-old culture into focus, Japan. Avanti's Asia program in Japan begins with arrival into Tokyo, one of the great capitals and commercial centers of the world. Amid the hustle and bustle of the city, beautiful parklands and quiet temples coexist. Journey from Tokyo to Hakone National Park and gaze upon iconic Mount Fuji. Take the ultra-modern bullet train south to visit the magnificent castles, temples and pagodas of Kyoto and Osaka. No visit to Japan would be complete without a visit to Hiroshima, site of the first atomic bomb blast in World War II. The rebuilt city today stands as a tribute to peace and prosperity and the resilience of the Japanese people. Japan's northern towns of Yudanaka, home of the famous snow monkeys, and Takayama, a picturesque mountain town filled with temples, shrines and markets, are also must-see and included in a number of our suggested itineraries. Traveling to Avanti's Southeast Asia, we begin with a visit to Vietnam, with centuries of history and occupation from the Chinese for nearly 200 years. With more colonial periods during the last 3 centuries, the influences of many countries are evident in Vietnam's culture, architecture and cuisine. Vietnam's 2 major cities, Hanoi in the north and Ho Chi Minh City, formerly known as Saigon, are gateways to this diverse country. Both bustle with motorbikes and bicycles in an unceasing wave of people in motion. Traveling a few hours to the east of Hanoi is picturesque Ha Long Bay. Avanti offers 2-day cruises of the Ha Long Bay region as part of its suggested itineraries. Central Vietnam cities of Hue and Hoi An boast an abundance of history. The Imperial City, Imperial Tombs, the Cham Period Museum, and the aromatic Perfume River are close by. In the south sits Ho Chi Minh City, with its own diverse cultural past. It is the gateway to the Mekong Delta region, where multi-day cruises are available as part of Avanti's product offerings, allowing our travellers to experience day-to-day life on the Mekong River. Heading west is the Kingdom of Thailand, another must-visit country in Southeast Asia. A mixture of historic temples and shrines are coupled with the metropolis that is Bangkok. At its centre sits the remarkable Imperial Palace, encrusted in gold and jewels, the original inspirational setting for The King and I, a truly spectacular sight. Avanti also takes you to the northern cities of Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai, with their beautiful temples, murals and shrines. Just a few hours away to the south by air are the magnificent beaches and resorts of Phuket, Koh Samui and Krabi, and their overwater bungalows. Enjoy a romantic walk while watching spectacular sunsets. Combining the cities and the beach is a great idea for your visit to Thailand, and Avanti's got them all. Cambodia and Laos are also available and terrific add-ons to visits to Thailand and Vietnam. Cambodia boasts the world-renowned UNESCO World Heritage Site Angkor Wat, which was built in the early 12th century and rediscovered in only the last 150 years. It was hidden for centuries deep in the overgrown tropical jungle that surrounds the site and is truly inspiring peek at a long-ago civilization. Phnom Penh, a gateway to the country, hosts temples and palaces that are also not to be missed. Laos also holds many treasures, including the capital Vientiane, site of the Golden Pagoda and breathtaking Luang Prabang, a naturally beautiful UNESCO World Heritage Area. Steeped in history, Seoul holds many ancient treasures, yet easily marries its 21st century face with tradition, and Avanti's career provides great opportunities to experience both. Gyeongbokgung Palace, built in 1315, was the primary home and seat of the Joseon dynasty that ruled Korea for over 5 centuries. Gyeongbokgung, which translates to Shining Happiness, hosts the oldest remaining wood structure in Korea, the Royal Throne Hall. Close by is the Insadong, where traditional Korean crafts, ceramics, clothing and artwork are in abundance. Culinary buffs can experience an opportunity to make and taste kimchi, a Korean specialty dish, by selecting Avanti's private cultural experiential tour. Experience Jokesa Temple, the center of Zen Buddhism, fronted by amazing locust trees estimated to be over 500 years old. A relatively short distance from Seoul lies the demilitarized zone, the 2.5-mile wide, 160-mile-long border, the no man's land that separates the Republic of Korea from its infamous neighbor to the north along the 38th parallel. A number of Avanti's optional tours to the DMZ are available, with stops at the secret incursion tunnels built by the North Koreans as potential invasion portals into the south. Peer into the north from the Dora Observatory and view the Freedom Bridge, a truly unique experience. Traveling south from Seoul to the country's largest seaport, Busan, you will be impressed with the city's modern infrastructure and skyline, which also easily melds the modern with history and tradition. Haedong-yongkung Temple, built in 1376, sits nestled into the hillside on the rocky Pacific seashore. See the great seawater Buddha and the 4 carved stone lions representing joy, anger, sadness and happiness, and so many more striking gold-encrusted statuettes. A visit to colourful, artsy Kumchum village is a must-see. Stand on the rocky cliffs of Taechongdae Park, named for the 29th king of the Silla dynasty in the 7th century, who used the area to shoot arrows into the sea below. Jeju Island off Korea's southern coast is a dormant volcanic natural wonder, replete with great beaches, waterfalls, caves and Crater Lake. Avanti offers great resort properties on Jeju, many with stunning views of the Pacific. South Korea is, all at once, modern, traditional and magical. Singapore, This world-class city-state provides a great few days stopover when visiting Southeast Asia. The former British colony is today one of the fastest-growing financial centres in the world, displaying its wealth in its ultra-modern skyline and excellent infrastructure. Gaining its independence in 1963, Singapore's pragmatic governance has allowed it to grow rapidly into one of the tigers of Asia commerce. It's home to the spectacular gardens by the bay and the lush Singapore Botanical Gardens, where unique plant species and rare orchids are plentiful. Shop for the ultimate bargain in one of the city's ethnic markets, and a bumboat ride on the Singapore River brings its gleaming architecture into view. Enjoy a meal atop the now iconic Singapore Marina Bay Sands, or sip a Singapore sling at the historic Raffles Hotel, where the famous cocktail was invented. Avanti offers a number of great experiences in Singapore. One of its most unique is the nighttime safari tour, where animals come alive in the first nocturnal open-concept zoo. Singapore's location has made it a cultural melting pot, and of course the same can be said of its multicultural cuisine, from China, India, Malay, and the former influence of the British. Singapore has something to offer for every taste. Taiwan, the beautiful isle, is graced with dramatic mountainous terrain, historic Chinese temples, hot springs resorts, and modern cities. Taipei, the capital, like many other large Asian cities, offers the contrasting views of a 21st century metropolis with numerous ancient cultural and historical sites. Taipei 101, designed to look like a bamboo shoot, is its aptly named major skyscraper. With its 101 stories, it looms over the city, offering spectacular views in every direction. By contrast, the Langshan Temple dates back 4 centuries. Key attractions not to be missed in Taipei include the National Palace Museum, which houses over 700,000 pieces of ancient Chinese imperial artifacts, and the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall, honoring the country's first president and emotional leader. A visit to the Shilin Night Market to sample famed Taipei street food is a must, and Avanti offers tours that include all these spectacular sights. Travel from Taipei to Sun Mu Lake, a picturesque landscape in Taiwan's interior. Take a leisurely cruise on the lake and soak up the beautiful surroundings, and a visit to Wenwu Temple at the lake provides an insight into a Chinese tradition of erecting temples that pay homage to patron gods of civil and marital matters. On the southern coast of Taiwan sits Kaohsiung, home to the Foguanshan Buddhist Monastery, featuring a 400-foot-tall golden Buddha. Venture along Taiwan's eastern coast and explore Kenting and Tarako, the national parks renowned for their scenic beauty, fronting the blue turquoise water of the Pacific Ocean. Taiwan is multidimensional, a travel experience not to be missed. Indonesia, a nation comprised of literally tens of thousands of volcanic islands. Avanti features 2 of Indonesia's most prominent islands, Java and Bali. Java, home of the sprawling Indonesian capital Jakarta, has been influenced by many neighbouring cultures, including Malay, Indian, Arab, and European from its colonial period of Dutch rule dating back to 1527. Explore the Taman Mini Indonesia Indah, built to represent the myriad of cultures that are the fabric of this country. The city, founded originally by the Dutch as a trading port named Sunda Kelapa Harbour, still is home to sailing schooners that ply the waters between the many islands, hauling cargoes of fish, timbers, and other goods. Further down the southern coast lies Yogyakarta. Fronting the Indian Ocean, it's known for its arts and culture. Home to the Royal Palace, or Kraton as it's called, you will also find many open squares featuring Javanese dance shows and gamelan music, known for combining gongs, plucked instruments, and chimes. Prambanan, a 9th century Hindu temple complex dedicated to Trimooti, goddess creator, preserver, and destroyer, is a must-see. Friedeberg Fortress contains numerous dioramas depicting the Indonesian freedom fight from Dutch rule. Take an Avanti excursion and travel to the interior of the island to visit Borobudur Temple Compound. a UNESCO World Heritage Site constructed in the 8th and 9th centuries. It's built in 3 tiers with circular platforms containing 72 structures known as stupas, each containing a statue of Buddha. Avanti's other featured Indonesian island is Bali. The island of the gods is known for its seaside resorts, spectacular beaches and water sport activities, but also notably for the warmth and welcome of the Balinese people. A culinary paradise, Avanti has a number of foodie tours to experience and even work with a local chef to prepare the various cuisines. Interesting excursions are also available to the Ubud Monkey Forest Nature Preserve and Hindu Temple Complex. Bali nightlife rocks with concerts, rooftop bars, live music venues and cabaret shows. Cultural performances featuring Balinese classics, Barong Ketchup and Lilong are performed by troops in native costumes. Shopping is also a daily sport in Bali with carved woodcrafts, masks, local jewellery and textiles. Literally, Bali has something for every age group, and Avanti's Indonesia is nothing short of spectacular. Malaysia. This fascinating country is divided into 2 parts, Peninsula and East Malaysia. Located on the peninsula, the capital Kuala Lumpur is a thriving metropolis with its signature skyline punctuated by the jewelled Petronas Twin Towers. The city features world-class restaurants and a totally modern infrastructure, yet it is sprinkled with centuries-old temples and buildings. From Kuala Lumpur, take a day tour to Malacca, home to numerous museums preserving artifacts from both pre- and post-colonial periods. It is the oldest Malaysian city and recipient of a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008. Penang on the peninsula's northwest coastline is a fusion of east and west, inviting modernity while maintaining its long-established customs and traditions. Georgetown, another UNESCO World Heritage Site, is replete with well-preserved colonial buildings, street food and shopping, ranging from local flea markets to exclusive malls. Great nightlife and restaurants are plentiful on Upper Penang Road, Straits Quay and Beach Street. Avanti's accommodations in Penang feature hand-picked 4- and 5-star beachfront resorts. A little further north off the coast lies the islands of Langkawi, a true tropical paradise featuring magnificent beaches, azure water and great resorts overlooking the Andaman Sea. Truly a tranquil location to reinvigorate the senses. Kota Kinabalu on Malaysia's eastern island of Borneo is the gateway to Kinabalu National Park, with 13,400 feet Mount Kinabalu as its centerpiece. On Borneo, there are numerous Avanti wildlife tours available. The island is home to many unique species, including the proboscis monkeys. Venture to Sepilok Nature Resort to visit the Sandakan Orangutan Rehabilitation Center. Here, orphaned and abandoned orangutans are cared for and taught survival skills to ultimately be returned to their natural habitat. Avanti's Malaysia blends culture, history, cuisine, and nature to provide a broad range of highly unique experiences. Formerly the Kingdom of Burma, Myanmar was granted its independence from British rule in 1948. It had been in virtual isolation, but in 2011 a civilian government was formed, and fortunately the country with its many treasures has once again been open for all visitors to enjoy. Arrive in Yangon, formerly Rangoon, to explore what is Southeast Asia's largest country. Touring the gold and jeweled adorned Shwe Dagon Pagoda, soaring over the city, is one of the many highlights. Like the Shwe Dagon, Botatong Pagoda dates back over 2,500 years, and the Chok Tagi Temple hosts a simply huge reclining Buddha that is over 200 feet long and nearly 50 feet high. To the north, the Bagan River Valley along the Irrawaddy River is dotted with thousands of temples, and its most famous gold-plated Shwedagon Pagoda was built by the founder of the Bagan Empire in 1090 AD. Northeast of Bagan is the city of Mandalay, with an eclectic mix of pagodas, Indian temples and mosques. Mandalay Palace and the Kutador Pagoda, known as the world's largest book, are essential sites to visit. To the southeast of Mandalay lies Inle Lake, dotted with stilt homes, temple islands and floating gardens. Emerging from isolation, Myanmar may lack some technology staples we are used to, but its history and beauty more than offset any minor inconvenience. Myanmar is now one of the fastest growing tourism destinations in all of Asia. Avanti has a robust selection of great tours, experiences, and accommodations to ensure a truly memorable visit. The Philippines. Avanti introduces a number of key destinations in this nation of more than 7,000 islands. Manila, the capital and gateway, now a modern city, was originally founded in 1571 by Spanish conquistador Miguel López de Legazpi. Spain ruled the Philippines for over 300 years, and this Spanish influence made the Philippines the most Catholic country in all of Asia. As a result, Manila boasts many historic churches, and the Cathedral of Manila was first constructed in 1581. Destroyed by earthquakes and the Battle of Manila in 1945, the cathedral has been totally restored within the past 2 years. Visit Fort Santiago, also built by the founder of Manila for defense of the city. An hour and a half by air lies Cebu Island, and the Philippines' second largest city, Cebu City. The explorer Magellan first landed in Cebu in 1521, and Magellan's Cross, reputed to have been erected where he arrived, is revered by many Filipinos, and the Basilica del Santo Niño that dates back to 1565 are both visited on Avanti's Cebu City tour. The El Nido region on Palawan Island defines the beauty of the Philippines. Palawan once again has been voted the best island in the world by Travel and Leisure magazine. Palawan, graced with beautiful blue waters mixed with emerald green, is laced with lagoons, cliffs, and abundant marine life. Truly a destination that is a feast for the eyes. Traveling with Avanti to the Philippine Islands is the perfect way to discover this burgeoning tourist destination in this spectacularly beautiful country. Avanti travelers discover the spectacular city of Dubai through a new direct route from the east coast of the USA to Southeast Asia. Our Emirates Air contracts allow travelers the opportunity to stop over for 2 or 3 days, providing a taste of what Dubai has to offer. Dubai boasts towering skyscrapers, magnificent infrastructure, and is home to the Burj Khalifa, the tallest structure in the world at 163 stories and more than half a mile high. It's a shopper's paradise and an engineering marvel, with palm-shaped islands built offshore where none previously existed. Avanti also offers the contrasting nomadic lifestyle that existed prior to the discovery of oil in 1966, with both a 2-day desert safari in a Bedouin-style tent camp, including a dune drive, camel ride, and meals in a marji. This is the way a sheikh would hold council or celebratory meals. Alternatively, take the sundowner dune dinner safari to sample a Bedouin meal. A region of great contrasts, Dubai is the perfect destination to take a travel break on the way to or when returning from Avanti's Southeast Asia. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Now with 8 new destinations, coupled with our original FIT program, this solidifies the Essence of Asia program as one of the most robust in the industry. Best of all, you can count on the same Avanti product knowledge and support that you have come to love and expect when working with Avanti.